Hey y'all, so in this video, I want to talk about something that I've been observing for quite a while now. So I've been seeing on YouTube a lot of videos about weddings and brides and grooms getting cake smashed in their face. More recently, about a week ago, I saw a video in which um, the groom was holding his bride over like a pool, and all of a sudden he let her go, and after a while he jumped in afterwards. So when I first saw that video, the pool video, I'm like, oh no, oh no, that is going to be, if that was me, that would have been like a immediate annulment. And I was at the restaurant, and I was with a couple of coworkers, and they showed the video on the news. And so we're looking at it. So the guys I was sitting with, they like, oh yeah, that's messed up. That's messed up. And I'm like, oh no, that'd be an immediate annulment. And so the guy's like, well, I don't know if I'll take it that far. So I asked the waitress, I said, what do you think about this video? So she looking at it, and so she replied like, what did she say? Oh, I'll be going straight to his credit cards. I'll be using his credit cards. I'll be maxing out his credit cards. I said, wait a minute. So if you was to be embarrassed like this on your wedding day, your get back would be maxing out his credit cards? First of all, who's to say that he even have credit cards to max out? Second of all, what if the credit cards are already maxed out? Third of all, that's what you come up with? Like, this is the beginning of something potentially very toxic. So I was saying, and I said this to her, I said, okay, if somebody can embarrass you or humiliate you like this on your wedding day, what do you think this is setting you up for? Next thing you know, he's going to be punching you in the eye. He already humiliated you in front of all your guests at your wedding on one of your most important days in your life. If he could successfully do that, what is he going to do behind the scenes? He's going to be, beating your butt. And she was like, well, I ain't think about it like that. Now, everybody said that I was thinking too deep. Like, I went too far, because I'm like, if somebody can humiliate you like that in public on your wedding day, what they won't do behind closed doors, what they won't do. They already embarrassed you at your wedding. So you're fair game for everything else. And granted, of course, I don't know these couple situations or anything like that. I don't know if they talked about it beforehand. To me, especially the woman with the pool situation, the bride who was let go into the pool, it just looked very, it didn't look planned. It didn't look like they talked about it. The way he let her go, it was almost as if she was shocked. And then it seemed like he jumped in the pool afterwards when he saw he wasn't getting the reaction that he thought he would have gotten by letting her go in the pool. So it was like, well, now I have to jump in. And so I was talking about that again tonight. And I thought about something. It just came to me, and I had never thought about it. Again, we're talking about, this tradition, if you want to call it that, of smashing cake in the bride and the groom's face. Me personally, I would not want that, because, like, as the bride, you're going to mess up your hair, your face, your makeup, your lashes, if you're wearing lashes, your dress. It's just so wrong and disrespectful, in my opinion. Now, if you talk about this beforehand, that's one thing. But if you talked about this to your spouse, and this is whether you're male or female, But 9 times out of 10, we see this adversely affecting the women. If you talk to your husband to be and you told him that you do not want to be thrown in the pool or you do not want cake smashed in your face and you do it anyway, that is the first sign of disrespect. And I was reading something today. I was reading some comments on the video in which they said the statistics show that 83% of marriages in which the bride or the groom smash cake into each other's faces, those marriages do not last long. They often result in divorce or they end up getting divorced. 83%, which I thought was wild. But it's like, who decided that that was cool? Who decided that that was funny? Who decided to make that a thing? Smashing cake in each other's face. Now, I always say, when I start seeing those videos pop up in my algorithm sometime last year, I'm like, oh no, like some of these cases is absolutely horrendous. I'm like, oh, absolutely immediate annulment. I won't even give the marriage license time to dry properly. If you embarrass me like that, if you overstep my boundary, if you bypass my boundary, especially if we talked about this, if I told you I don't want you to smash cake in my face, if I told you I don't want to be thrown in the pool, if I told you I don't want any of the like to happen on my wedding day, and you do it anyway because you think it's so funny and I need to lighten up. It's a joke. Immediate annulment, because that's letting me know you don't respect me. You don't respect my boundaries. You are okay with humiliating me, and I gotta go. It's okay. I gotta go. Um, I was watching a video in which a woman did exactly that. Like she had suffered trauma from cake being smashed in her face as a teenager. It was actually a birthday cake. And we don't think about there's, I think they call them bowers or scours or something like that. But it's like the wooden, like toothpick, like things that hold like the tiered cakes in place. You never think about this kind of stuff. But when she was a teenager, for her 16th or 17th birthday, her family member smashed a cake in her face. You know, that can take your eye out. Any freak accident can happen. But it actually she suffered some kind of a contusion from one of the picks that was inside the cake. And so when her husband did this at her wedding, she had already told him beforehand, I have trauma surrounding cake being smashed in my face. Do not do it. And he did it anyway. Not only did she leave the wedding, but she filed for an immediate annulment. And she ended up blocking her family and blocking his family, blocking him. And a friend allowed her to stay at her house or her apartment or whatever the case may be until she got herself together. Like, yeah, because this is showing he didn't respect her at all. He didn't respect her boundaries. And they come to find out he was already cheating on her. All kind of stuff come out. Again, he did not respect her boundaries. Now, this is a less talk. Could you stay in a marriage with someone that oversteps your boundaries on one of the most special days of your life, such as your wedding? Could you stay with that person if they blatantly disregarded whatever terms you set out before the wedding and they did it anyway? Could you stay with that person? Namely, apparently this is a really big thing nowadays. The cake being smashed in your face. I never thought that was funny. I never, like, what is the point? So today, as I was talking, all of a sudden it came to me, that scene from the movie, What's Love Got to Do with It? Ike and Tina Turner. When I, even though this is a movie, and I don't believe that this actually happened in real life, because Tina Turner actually admitted that they embellished a lot in that movie, but one of the greatest movies ever made. Those who have suffered from domestic violence, they might be triggered by that movie, but overall, great movie, great acting. And Lawrence Fishburne, no, he played that part well. Angela Bassett played Tina part very well as well. But anyway, all of a sudden it came to me today, that part in the restaurant when Ike smashed the cake in Tina Turner's face, telling her to eat the cake Anna made. And I'm like, oh, I wonder. Even though I'm sure that they probably been smashing cake and the bride and the groom's face way before that movie came out. But it seemed like, I think the movie came out in 1992. After that movie came out, it was one of the most iconic scenes in a movie to date. I think people just ran with that. Some people ran with it wickedly, knowing exactly what they were doing. Because in the movie, Ike Turner was an abuser to Tina Turner. And the way he smashed that cake in her face, eat the cake, anime, eat the cake. That's all I could think about today when I was thinking about, the controversy surrounding smashing the cake, in particular, the woman's face, the bride's face. Like, why would the bride want to mess up her hair, her makeup, potentially her dress, and you got to walk around the rest of the day like that? Who wants to do that on their special day? If you know anything about cake, especially wedding cake, is very thick, it's very messy, and you want that smashed in your face? That's not funny. That's not humorous. Am I thinking too deep into it? What do you guys think? Me personally, that is a absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're not smashing no cake in my face. Future husband, you are not. Whoever you are not smashing cake in my face. What do you guys think about this? Is it okay? Is, people too uptight nowadays? Do people need to know how to just have fun? Or do you think it's some kind of boundary being crossed? Again, yes. If you two discuss it and you don't care about cake being smashed in your face, cool, fine. But if you express that you do not want cake smashed in your face and your spouse does it anyway, and this doesn't matter if you're the bride or the groom, if they smash the cake in your face anyway, what do you do? Do you continue on with the marriage? Or do you go straight and get an annulment? Because me personally, I think it is a sign for things to come. If they overstepped your boundaries at the wedding and you told them beforehand and they do it anyway, what are they going to do when you actually are into the marriage now? This is day one. Day one, they're already showing their lack of respect, their lack of care, their uh, willingness to cross your boundary. Day one. Do you stay in this marriage? Because I always say, I'm going to take it to the extreme. Next thing you know, he could be putting paws on you, or she going to be putting the paws on you, putting hands and feet on you, if they can do you like that. Again, if you agree to it, cool. If you don't, what's your opinion? And if you don't talk about it at all, in my opinion, that means you're up for whatever. You're Whatever happens, you okay with it because you didn't discuss. But then again, that's not even fair to say that, because your new spouse should know you. They should know if you would mind or wouldn't mind being thrown into a pool. They should know how you will be or how you feel about cake being smashed in your face. Some things you just know, like my woman or my man will not appreciate this at all. I'm not even going to do it. But I would love to hear you guys' opinion on this subject. All right, I'm Elise, and you all have a very, very great day. Oh yeah, sometimes people will wait until you say I do to show you who they really are. Like 9 times out of 10, they were displaying the red flags. But for whatever reason, we chose to overlook them. And then when you say, I do, that's when the enemy rear his ugly head. Gotcha. Because you've been waiting so long to get married. You wanted to be married. You waited so long to get married. You wouldn't dare get this marriage annulled that quick. You wouldn't dare go get a divorce that quick. You want to be married so bad. So a person will wait for that perfect day, that perfect opportunity, your wedding day, to humiliate you, to see what would you really do. Some people out here think diabolical like that. They played the role the whole time and they finally got you. You wouldn't dare leave. You wouldn't dare leave. You wouldn't dare say you want an annulment because you want to be married too bad. Yeah, I disrespected you. Yeah, I humiliated you. Yeah, I overstepped your boundaries on day one. But we married now. What are you going to do? Some people play that role so perfectly and don't reveal who they really are until you say I do. And that's when you know when the enemy is involved or if this was all God. Because the enemy is going to let his evil side be shown. He got to do that. And what better day than to reveal himself than on your wedding day? Some people, oh, God put this together. God put this together. When in fact, no, he didn't. No, he did not. And if you're disrespected on your wedding day, if your boundaries are crossed on your wedding day, that's your answer right there. But I just thought about that because we see that so often. People play the role. And my best friend said something to me. Everybody is playing a role. Everybody is playing a role. And I'm like, oh man, I don't want to be with someone that has to play a role with me. I don't want to be with someone that has to play a role just to get me. Be who you are. Show your real self. And sometimes the enemy can't help it. He's going to reveal himself. And at the inopportune time, your wedding day.